Hey guys, how's it going? How's life? My name is Diabian Johnson and I'm bringing y'all another video. Okay guys, so in this video, like the previous video, I was inspired by Just Plain Jane. I think I saw her last year back in like 2024, early 2024 or like early 2025. She basically showed us like all of the body mists she completed in the year, as well as all the perfumes that she completed. So now I am on the perfumes that I completed in 2025. Okay, that includes a multitude of sizes, where there it comes from like a sample size or a full-blown 100 milliliter perfume. Okay, so if you guys want to see all that I have in store for you guys, stay tuned and keep on watching. Okay guys, so I basically kept all of the perfumes that I completed in this bag. I had several bags from various different purchases that I've had, that I made over the past few years since I've been in perfume. So I was like, let me just put the perfumes in this bag and see how it goes. Okay, so let me go ahead, dump the stuff out so that it'll be easier for me to show y'all. Okay guys, so this is basically the perfumes that I completed all the way out of the bag that I had them in. And honestly and truly, I'm seeing some of this stuff and I'm like, girl, I forgot that I completed it this year. I thought I completed it way back in 2024. Okay, I did not realize that I was still using this in 2025. So yeah, let me go ahead and start by showing y'all the fragrances that were completed. Let's start off with this lovely Cherie. This is from Maison Alhambra. They have updated the packaging on this because I think it was like some issues with it looking like what it was inspired by, or whatever. So I think now it's called Forbidden Love. And it's still by Maison Alhambra, and it looks different, like it's a completely different bottle. So my favorite combination with Lovely Cherie was this Latafa Aura scent. This one's supposed to be duping or it's supposed to be inspired by BR540. So this smells great together. How I came up with this combination is not by my own. Okay, this was actually inspired by this fragrance that I saw on Oakcha. I think it's supposed to be from a creation by Paul Reacts. It was his very first release before he started making his own scents, and I think it was called Miss Girl or something. That one was supposed to be a mixture of Lost Cherry and BR540 together, and I was like, okay, I don't really like both of those scents like that enough to buy a whole nother thing that's supposed to smell like both of them combined. So let me just do the combination myself, and it worked. A lot of people gave me compliments about it, so shout outs to Paul Reacts, okay, for knowing his stuff. Okay, so I mainly use this together all the time, so that's how I got both of these out of the collection, by using them together. I realized that I like them for layering. This one can layer with so many different things, like the BR540 DNA can layer with so many different things. By itself, I'm not necessarily the fan of it, so I wouldn't like purchase it just to wear by itself, but to layer, yes. Okay. This one, I don't know if I want to purchase it in a perfume again, but maybe a body oil. You never know. So I finished some Oakchas, okay? So this one, this Cologne, this one is supposed to be a dupe of or inspired by Gentle Fluidity Gold, okay, by MFK. I actually was surprised that I finished this. I think I was spraying it out one day, and then all of a sudden it just wasn't spraying out, and I was like, what the heck? And realized that it was basically gone. This Oakcha bottle, like, I didn't realize that this was actually a painted bottle. Like, I thought this was a completely solidly black bottle. So I was just like trying to figure out how I was going to figure out how much I had left. So I just figured it out by spraying this out. But I actually have a Middle Eastern dupe of Gentle Fluidity Gold, and I can just use that one now. I just wanted to get this one out of the way first before I started using that one. Not necessarily my favorite scent. I thought I really liked Gentle Fluidity Gold, but then I realized that it's okay. But you never know. Maybe with the Middle Eastern dupe, I'll like it more than I did with the Oakcha. These two are when I realized that this actually isn't a painted bottle. And I think it's because I was using this one, and then it started peeling. I think I was using one of these and it started peeling and I was like, why is it peeling? I was like, oh, this is painted. Oh my goodness. Let me go ahead and try and get the stuff off. So I basically made me a little, window in the back to see how much I had left. And that aided me a lot. Okay. This one, I was able to do the same. This one is supposed to be inspired by Angel Share by Killian. And I have a Middle Eastern dupe of this one as well. And then I have Secret Duchess was supposed to be inspired by Killian's Princess perfume. And I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of this one. I thought I liked this one, like I said in the very beginning too. Maybe because it was different and at the time I didn't have as many perfumes. But honestly, that matcha note kind of throws me off a little bit. It makes it a little bit too bitter for my liking. This one, I really do like the original Angel Share DNA more than I like this other popular fragrance that's from a Middle Eastern brand, which I'm going to show you guys later. It's actually over there. A lot of people love that over Angel Share DNA, but personally, I prefer the Angel Share DNA over Khamrah. Okay, guys, so since I already started talking about it, let me show you guys. I had this basically on display, and at first I was not utilizing it enough for it to get out of my collection. I thought I was gonna have it for a whole nother few years, okay? Because honestly, I only use this in the winter time. But then I bought the Kawa, which is supposed to have a coffee note, which I preferred over this one. And then I think Dakan, that one is supposed to be like the tobacco one, and I was just like, girl, I'm buying two different flankers and I still haven't completed the first one. Oh my gosh. I need to go ahead and work through getting this one out my collection. So that's what I did. I concentrated on this fragrance for like a week and a half and got it out my collection. So shout outs. Since I have those flankers for Khamrah, honestly, it's a one and done. Then I have this Lolia perfume in the scent Wish. This is a 3.4 ounce. I believe I got this from TJ Maxx one day and then I was smelling it and I was just like, oh, okay, that's not too bad. That actually, I kind of like that. Then when I got it home and started smelling it even more, honestly, I started to realize that I don't like it as much as I did. I think it just smelled different from anything else in my collection. I'm not sure if it's like ginger or something in here. I don't know, girl. It's not bad. It's just not my favorite scent. Let's talk about a popular one that everybody named mama like, but I just never was in love. People was talking about this was supposed to be strawberries and cream, which is the reason why I did not pick this up in the very beginning. But I think I ended up picking up the white one, which a lot of people disliked the white one, but I actually didn't mind that one. The white one made me want to buy the other ones, okay? But this one, is the original one. This one, it doesn't smell like strawberries and cream to me. If anything, it kind of smells like a fruity, a tropical fruity shampoo / conditioner. That's kind of like the vibe it gives me. Personally, not my favorite scent. However, there is another Middle Eastern fragrance that says it's supposed to smell similar to Yara, but it's a different packaging. Some people say that it smells even better than Yara, that I may think about getting, but I don't know, because they also came out with the elixir of this and I was kind of wanting that one, so I may get the Yara elixir. But honestly, I think this may be a one and done. If I do get this again, it will be in that smaller bottle that I've been seeing floating around, the 1.7 fluid ounce, instead of this full 3.4. Okay, so this is a Jessica Simpson fragrance, and this is I Fancy You. This is a very, floral, very, crisp scent. Not my favorite perfume in the world, but it wasn't bad per se. If you are a floral lover, you may like this one, but to me, it just was like a one and done. I still haven't tried the original Fancy, but honestly, I had I Fancy You and then Fancy Love, and both of them were both okay. So honestly, I don't know if Jessica Simpson perfumes are for me. This is the Vivve Cool Water for women. This was a good fragrance if you like aquatic scents. I think this is an older fragrance. I do like this, but it doesn't last, honestly. And also, it had like a kind of like a metallic note that I kept smelling because of the atomizer. I'm not really sure like why it kept translating on my skin every single time I sprayed it out. But that was before I even it had time to settle to become whatever it was trying to be, girl. But yeah. Also, The way that the bottle is constructed, it was kind of hard to spray out. So if I was to pick this one up again, I don't know honestly if it would be the actual fragrance or if I would probably like look for a dupe that's more potent. We have a Dossier fragrance. This is floral lavender. This one is notes of mandarin, neroli, blackcurrant, middle notes of jasmine, lavender, orange blossom, base notes of vanilla, amber, and musk. This one was supposed to be inspired by YSL Leave, and I like this so much that I ended up picking up 3.4 fluid ounce when they had the 50% off sale. They kept trying to get me, girl, and I honestly wasn't about to buy another Dossier fragrance anytime soon. Not because I didn't like them, it's because I have other perfumes in my collection, and I also picked up the YSL Leave Vanilla Couture, so I really didn't need that DNA anymore. Even though they don't smell exactly the same. I was also thinking about a Middle Eastern Latafa Pride collection that they said is supposed to smell like the intense version or something. So that's what I was looking at. But honestly, this had sat and then the juice had darkened up. And then when I wore this, I would smell this over every single thing. Okay. This Dossier perfume. Okay. So I had to pick it up again. This is Renewed Scents. I was introduced to this brand by Faces by Britney back in 2024. This is from a purchase that I made. They sent me a sample of, I guess, Aura. I'm not really sure if they actually came out with this fragrance because I haven't went back on their site this year. This is supposed to be inspired by Balaya, and I actually have a Middle Eastern dupe of Balaya, so I don't need to purchase from Renewed Scents on this. And basically they smell the same though, so if you do want to shop from a small owned business, then you most definitely can check out Renewed Scents. I'm not sure if they're black owned, but I know that they are a smaller company. This is Ude Juice Love Unfiltered. I have had another fragrance from them in this collection, and I think that was called 100% juice or something like that. It was the blue and pink one. That one was supposed to smell like REM by Ariana Grande, but this one I'm not sure what it was supposed to smell like or if it's just its own scent. But this is the Love Unfiltered one. It's kind of like white and red. I found mine's at Marshall's one day coming from a previous job a few years ago. But personally for me, I do not like the atomizer that these Ude Juice perfumes have, so I wouldn't repurchase from this brand again. Honestly, this was kind of like a one and done. They are cute. They are kind of like gimmicky as well, but like the sprayer, girl, no, it like sputters out. It's just not a good spray bottle. I finished this alt fragrance. This is Bohemian Water. I think this was either Gypsy Water or Virgin Island Water, one of those. Okay, can't remember. But I was already like right here, but then I wasted some out. So I went from right here to like right here. And then basically I was like, girl, well, I might as well finish it then since I done wasted it out in my bag. So I basically finished the rest of it out, and I did like this scent. I do like alt fragrances. I may pick them up again. However, I've noticed that alt fragrances have like a underlying lining scent that I'm not the biggest fan of. This is Si Passione by Giorgio Armani. Rest in peace, Giorgio Armani. This is Eclate. Not my favorite scent. Okay, it was very, I think it was rose forward. It was very honestly floral. Didn't like it. Wouldn't purchase this at all. This came with a gift set that I picked up back in 2024, or if it wasn't 2024, then it was 2023. I picked up a little gift set and then I ended up giving it to my mom. But it was the Giorgio Armani My Way fragrance, and this was the other free fragrance that they gave me. And yeah, like I said, wouldn't purchase at all. We have Shaghaf Woman. This was the fragrance that I decided to try from this Swiss Arabian line. And honestly and truly, at first when I first got it, it smelled like piss. I've always made that joke. It really isn't a joke. I'm really serious. Okay, it did smell like that, honestly, and it did get better. It took a good 1.5 to 2 years to get better. Okay, not gonna lie. Wouldn't repurchase again because I can't. I refuse to go through that first scent, and the last scent that it did leave me, it just wasn't good enough for me to even think about going through the turmoil again. This is a Sphinx fragrance. I do really enjoy Sphinx fragrances, and I still have some more that I'm trying to pick up from them. But this is a strawberry sugar high. This kind of smells like a strawberry version of that Love Don't Be Shy or Oriana kind of like feel. So if you like those scents, you may like this. It kind of reminded me of root beer. That's what Love Don't Be Shy and Oriana kind of give me the mind of: root beer, cream soda, that type feel. So if you kind of like that, then you may like this, girl. We had this Curious perfume for Britney Spears. This is what made me chill out on just blind buying Britney Spears perfumes, because I did not like this one. Okay, wouldn't repurchase. It was a little bit too floral for my liking. This was Choco Musk, and I also completed Tootie Musk. Okay, so at the time I had more of this used than I did this one, but I kind of finished these both around the same time. Honestly, I actually end up liking Choco Musk, so I would repurchase Choco Musk. I think they have a 100 milliliter that I've seen on Intense Oud, so I would pick that one up. Tootie Musk I would consider a one and done though. This was a 0.5 fluid ounce of My Way. Like I said, I got it from a gift set. I gave my mom the 1 ounce, and then I kept this version. And I do like My Way, but I have My Way Nectar, which I prefer even more than the original. So I'm good on this one for right now. I was given this by one of my coworkers at a previous job. We kind of bonded over fragrance, and she said that she had these perfume oils that she forgot about, and she asked me if I wanted one. So I chose this one. This is Hello to Natural, and this was the Flower Bomb DNA. This one I did enjoy. I think I was mixing this with something else, like a body cream or so, and I kind of forgot what that body cream was, but it actually was really good. Like, it was a really good combination. And usually how I use perfume oils is just kind of like going in my hand and then going in with my moisturizer and then putting it over my body. This is the Orabella Window to Soul fragrance. This is the travel size perfume. I wanted to try this out because when I went to smell it in store, I just wasn't the biggest fan of it when they first came out. So I decided to pick them up to try out. And honestly, I think this is one of my favorites, but it still was never something that I decided to pick up a full bottle in. They are cute though. So I'm on my last 5 fragrances. We have Clean Classic. This is Shower Fresh. I did like this scent. It was very citrusy though. It doesn't smell like any like soap that I've used in the shower, but it wasn't bad. I did like this though. This is Dossier's Fruity Magnolia, and I believe this one is supposed to be a dupe of the Bright Crystal perfume. I think I realized that I'm not the biggest fan of Bright Crystal from Versace. Not that I dislike it to the point where I would never pick it up, but I actually prefer Yellow Diamond over that one, which is interesting because I think Yellow Diamond is more floral. This one was just okay. I think I had been hearing people talk about how good it was, so when I actually started wearing it and realized that it was it was kind of like overhyped, my thought process of it kind of changed. Also, I think Gardenia and Magnolia is one of those hard floral notes for me, along with rose, but for sure Gardenia and Magnolia because they have a specific scent. This is an alt fragrance that I completed, and this is Effing Fantastic. This one was supposed to be inspired by the Tom Ford Effing Fabulous. This was kind of like a lavender-esque perfume. Don't know what else they had in there. Honestly, it kind of smelled like it had like oud in it too. Not gonna even lie. Don't know if that's true, but yeah, it wasn't a bad fragrance. It was more so like a nighttime fragrance. Wouldn't purchase the full size of this. It was just kind of like a one and done, you know? We have my very first Britney Spears fragrance, and this is her Fantasy bottle. This is the original. I do have several flankers of this. So I would want to dwindle my collection on that before I even think about purchasing more, like another one of these. And I also have like another, I have like a, I've seen like a Middle Eastern fragrance that says that it's supposed to smell similar to this. So I may even think about checking that one out too before I even think about picking this one up again. But I did really enjoy this fantasy flanker, which made me think that I really love all of her stuff, and I had to buy every single thing from her, girl. Then lastly, I have, this says Pick Me Up Parfums, but it's no longer, that's no longer the brand. It's actually called Vivve. Um, this is her clean hair fragrance. I joined her Facebook group, and I learned about this person back in 2024 from Vania McHale here on YouTube. And like I said, she went through a update to her name and to her brand, her packaging, all that in early 2025. So it no longer looks like this at all. It's called Vice Vive, and the packaging is even better. But I did like this clean hair fragrance. This is just a 15 milliliter though. Okay, guys, so that wraps up this video where I'm showing you guys all of the fragrances that I completed in 2025. Hopefully you guys were entertained by all of the fragrances. You guys were entertained by my thoughts. If you guys have any questions, then of course post them down below. I will be responding to everybody's question or everybody's comment. So don't forget to like, comment, and most definitely subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.